Tell us a story.
Yes, tell us a story.
Alrighty, it is freezing cold. Again, that Ohio weather, it was 48 degrees yesterday, moist, rainy, and today it's all back snow-covered, frozen, icy. I love Ohio. I'm finishing a story about my grandparents that lived on the wrong side of the tracks. During when my grandfather was in WW2, serving in WW2 over in Germany, they used to make ends meet. They had 7 kids at that time, I believe. If not 7, they were soon to have 7. And they used to make ends meet by the kids would pick night crawlers, fish and worms, and sell them for 2 cents a piece. So the kids got a penny and the household got a penny to make ends meet. They did that every night, and they had to make sure Grandma was a really, really, really avid fisherwoman, and she didn't want to sell no product or have any product that was damaged, so they had to make sure that they didn't pinch or damage the worms as they were picking them. So any worms that got rejected, of course, they would use for themselves to probably go and catch fish, do whatever, but then they would sell them. So they sold that. They also farmed rabbits. They would have rabbit pens in the back, and they would have those, and I think it was a nickel or a dime for a rabbit. I can't remember exactly what they told me it was, but they would raise rabbits and sell them to individuals for food rabbits. Back in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, that's what they did. They also, I remember when, they lived on the edge of the tracks there, a couple houses over from the edge of the tracks, and at that time, there was not a lot of jobs before the war, and then during the war there was a lot of people. Basically, they were hobos, and hobo back then wasn't a bad name. It was just what people did to get around. They rode the trains, they rode the rails. They would walk for days to get to places to try and pick up jobs. I can remember even into the late 60s, early 70s, that my grandmother, and this is what she did back in the 40s, someone would come to the back door of the house at night, knock on the back door, and then step back into the darkness from the little porch light out back. Grandma would fix them some food, get them some sandwiches, cook them whatever he had. Even though the food was, scarce for the household, she would fix them a plate, set it outside, they would eat, and move on. Now, why? I don't know, whether it was you did that, or they robbed from you, or you did that, or they caused trouble, or whatever, or Grandma was just looking out for people that just had it worse than she did. No matter how bad it was for them and all the kids and everything while Grandpa was gone, she did that, and that always struck me. I mean, I was physically there several times when the knock came to the back door, and the township's coming to inspect the damage, see whether or not we need anything else done out here. That's nice of them. But yeah, she did that. Numerous times that I physically saw what she was doing, and then it was explained to me later on. But I thought, that was the courtesy and the kindness and stuff that she showed them is amazing, and always stuck with me, part of her personality and stuff. She did things for people that you just wouldn't believe, but she was a very, very strict. If you got on the bad side of her, you would pay. You would be punished. If it took 1,000,000 years, she would. But loved her to death. She was the greatest, kindest, little teeny short woman that you ever saw. So that's stories of hard times and her taking care of people and what they actually did. I've thought many times about when I was a kid here in the swamp. We used to pick worms, and we'd go out and for 4 or 5 hours pick big bunches of worms. Usually it was just for us to go fishing, but there had been times that we thought about selling them. My dad actually built a worm pit in one of the side yards at the back, and that was a kind of a fiasco, but I think that's a story for another time. So we've got to try and get this ice caked in off of us here, and then we're going to get into the store. We have a busy day today. I'll see what I can do. I'll take care of me. I'll do my thing. You do your thing. See ya.
Story time is over.
Damn, that was annoying.